That's a bad boy. Is you mad, boy? Bitch, that's a bad boy. Get a bad boy, bitch. That's
Look. Okay. The song really ain't that bad, y'all. It's not that bad. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the song and more of that. First of all, welcome back to Damien After Dark. You already know what it is. If you're new here or you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Or what are you doing? I want to thank y'all so much. First of all, a lot of you for subscribing, for commenting. Y'all be commenting. Y'all be running the views up. I've been getting messages on Instagram from some of y'all saying you love my content. Whew, I'm out of breath. Shit. I gotta do something because I'm out of shape. But yeah, thank y'all so much. And if you're not following me yet on all social media, go ahead and follow me on all social media platforms. My username is the same if you want more content from me, because I do so much more shit on my Instagram, on my Snapchat. I've got TikTok, but I'm not there as much because I'm still trying to figure TikTok out. I'm considered old for the TikTok generation. I'll be 29 next month, Gemini. So like if you're 28, 29, you already know we grew up on the Twitter age. So I'm still trying to figure TikTok out. But follow me on all social media platforms at Damien Gentry. That's DAMIEONGENTRY. Okay. My name, I'll post that in the description below. If I went too fast for you, that's DAMIEONGENTRY. My mom had to be different and spell my name differently. So we're back with Bad Boys Season 1. This is episode 10. Can you believe we're in episode 10 already? I'm just ready for this season to be over with, to be honest with you. I'm ready for the reunion, because usually the reunions are like the best when it comes to reality shows, unless you're Jocelyn's Cabaret. If you haven't checked out my Jocelyn's Cabaret Season 3 reunion video, go check it out, because I read them hoes for filth. Because Zeus ought to be ashamed for what they fed us for the reunion. That was trash, Zeus. Anyway, we're back with episode 10. So, this episode, I'm not going to lie, was kind of dull. It was boring. But I'm going to break it down for those of you who care or who did watch it. Or maybe you haven't watched it yet and you just want me to give you the key points, the few interesting things that were in there, okay? So the show opens back up. They're all around the campfire, if you remember from last episode. And Milan is kind of introducing Rio to everybody. Rio, I guess, is the official replacement, one of the replacements, even though we've had two people gone. We had William the Baddest is gone, and Andrew Caldwell is gone. I wish they would have gotten replacements earlier on in the season, and maybe we would have had more drama, more storylines and stuff like that. But instead, they wanted to give us replacements way at the end. And now that Jonathan is gone, it just, I don't know. I feel like they should have left Jonathan in the house. I feel like they really should have left Jonathan in the house, because we would have had storylines. We would have had more to talk about. We could have got maybe some resolution between Jonathan, Rio, and Milan, or we maybe would have gotten more arguments from them, something, because now I feel like with the show, it's just kind of, it's giving me Baddies ATL vibes all over again. Nothing is really going on. They're just kind of trying to figure shit out as they go. We're not really getting anything. And this is why I say this so much about Zeus. This is why they need new producers. This is why having a good producing team is so important. When we watch reality TV shows, we don't really realize how important the job of a producer is. The producer is the man behind the curtain. They're pulling the puppet strings. They keep the story going. If you don't have a producer or a good producer, you get example A, what we're watching with Bad Boys LA. It's just a bunch of guys in a house just, doing whatever. So they're all talking about the fight that happened between Jonathan and Rio, and this happened the night before. They're all talking about what happened and all that. You remember they had a house party. Jonathan had went upstairs to find his room and to try to take over Milan's room. And then Rio swung on Jonathan, and Rio got that ass whooped. Not one time, not two times, Not 3 times, but 4. Now, in the show, they all say 3 times, but if you go back and watch, I'm pretty sure it was 4 times he whooped his ass. Ooh, and if you see me looking over here, I've got my notes over here, so yeah, I'll be looking over here, seeing what's going on. So they're talking about the night before. Darrell says he didn't even know what happened because his legs were in the air. Ooh. Darrell said his legs were up in the air. He didn't know what happened. Anthony said he blacked out. He didn't even know what was going on. He had a great time. Now, Anthony, I bet you did have a great time because did y'all peep what I saw with Anthony? Y'all know, obviously, in everything when I'm watching this, Anthony had a hickey on his neck. Okay, perfect example of a producer's job. Now, y'all know, I've said before, and somebody commented and asked me what my job was in reality TV, because I've worked in reality TV before. I've actually produced a show before, and for those who don't know, and I've said this before, but people ask me a lot in the comments, I worked on Love and Marriage Huntsville on the Oprah Winfrey Network, seasons 1 and 2. If you haven't watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, go check it out. That is an example of a good show that has been produced really good. It was produced by Carlos King, who produced The Real Housewives of Atlanta. He's done a lot of big shows, right? He is an example of a great producer. If Carlos King could get his hands on Bad Boys, y'all would never be able to turn this shit off, okay? But this is a good example of what a producer could do. Anthony has that hickey on his neck, okay? Let's explore that. Let's get Anthony in the confessional. Let's get Anthony in a room with Milan or with whoever and get them to bring up, Anthony, where'd that hickey come from? Because for all we know, that could have come from Down Low Mo. Down Low Mo could have gave him that hickey, and we got a storyline, baby. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Okay, so Melania, I call Milan Melania because that's what he gives me. He gives me straight up female. Melania, and Rio, they all are talking about this fight, and they have the idea that someone set Jonathan up. Because if you remember on last week's episode, we saw the clip where Jonathan was hitting Rio in the back and in the hand and everywhere with this metal chair. And Rio, Melania, and Mo had this idea that someone set him up. Now, this is just my personal opinion, I really don't think anybody set him up, because if you watch, nobody really knows Rio, so they don't really have a beef with him to be setting him up. So why would anyone be plotting behind Rio's back? I think what happened is Jonathan was still mad from the night before. He calls up his good girlfriend, Gutta, whoever, bring. Hey girl, are y'all filming? Are y'all filming? Because I'm just gonna show up. Now, I don't think Jonathan told him what was gonna happen. I think he was just being slick, and he was like, hey, is anybody there? I'm just gonna pop up real quick. And he showed up and did what Jonathan does, which is put the pause on dude, right? So I think it may have been coincidental, and he just pulled up and did that. Now, if y'all also notice, every time Rio tells this story about the chair and getting hit in the confessionals and in person, he keeps on saying, and I blocked it with my hands, and I blocked it with my hands. Rio, no, you didn't. Or yeah, you may have blocked it with your hands, but that's why your hand is bleeding now and gushing. But from what I saw, he got you in the back, he got you in the head, he got you in the hand. Like, it's all ego. Rio's ego is just like, will not let him own that you got your ass whooped, bro. It is what it is. Sometimes that happens. We win some and we lose some. You should have never started in the first place and tried to jump in between your girlfriend's battles. Because let's be real. Milan called you there to fight his battles, and it backfired, as I said before. So now Rio also admits, if we watch, he says, when Jonathan came over, they got into a fight or whatever, and Rio said, I picked up a chair. That's where you fucked up, Rio, because I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I still do in a way, because Jonathan should have never showed back up and started this all again. I've been Team Jonathan from the get-go, because Rio did throw the first punch. However, when everything was said and done and the smoke cleared, Jonathan, you shouldn't have showed back up and acted an ass, okay? You should just let it go. But But that was a one-on-one fight. Now, Rio, you fucked up by picking that chair up, because if I'm in a fight with somebody and I see them pick a chair up, I'm going to pick something up too. And I'm going to come after you too, because that chair was an automatic threat to Jonathan. Oh, you got a weapon in your hands. This is no longer a fist fight. This is no longer a fair fight. So I'm going to pick up a chair too. Now, it just happened to be that Jonathan is better with his hands and the chair. And you got folded again. No pun intended with the chair being folded. But you got folded again, baby. It is what it is, Rio. I want to like you. I think you cute. But you just really hard to like at this point. And I wanted to say I hope it's not editing. But no, we can't blame everything on editing. It is what it is at this point. Now, like I said, I do think it was wrong for Jonathan to show back up. But like everyone says, or like we've heard before, there's three sides to the story. His side, her side, and the truth. Somewhere in the middle there is the truth, because Jonathan said differently that Rio started the fight with the, if I'm not mistaken, y'all clear this up for me in the comments if I'm wrong here. But when Jonathan showed back up to the house, he claims that Rio started that fight. I don't know. We didn't get any camera footage. I don't know where production was at that time. They should have gotten this captured, because all we have is cell phone video from a balcony of Jonathan swatting your ass like a fly. Now, Rio, oh, here's another thing. Somebody asked, now, a lot of y'all may disagree with me on this, but this is my motherfucking truth, okay? Rio, somebody asked Rio, I think it was Anthony, are you going to press charges? And he said, no, I ain't pressing charges. I ain't no police-ass ninja. Let me say this. I am not no police person either. But that does not mean I won't throw your ass in jail, okay? First of all, I have police PTSD. Some of y'all may know what that is. A lot of y'all may know what that is. But for me, I grew up with a stepfather who sold crack. True story. Maybe one day I'll do a story time for y'all. But I grew up with a stepfather who sold crack all my life. And I've been in multiple, not just one, not just two, not just three, multiple police raids to where they bust your door down in the middle of the night. They hold guns to your head. They scream at you. They tell you to get down, get down. They ransack your house. I mean, like, I have police PTSD really bad. I draw up when I see a cop while driving, and I could be doing nothing wrong. So I try to refrain from involving the police with anything. However, just because the streets say don't call the law or whatever, if you come at me and I'm minding my business, if the story is true, like Rio says, and you come at me and I'm by myself, minding my business, and you come out of nowhere and knock me upside the head or hit me with a chair or whatever, and I can't in no way defend myself, your ass is going to jail. Because how else am I going to get you back? Because if I pick up something and knock you in the head and put you in the hospital and you bleeding and gushing, we both gonna go to jail. Like, I ain't got time to go to jail. I'm not paying those lawyer fees. I'm not paying them bond fees. Look at me. I'm too pretty to be in jail. So there's that to say, like, the only way you can sometimes get somebody back is legally. It's putting their ass in motherfucking jail and pressing charges. Now, I don't always agree with that. If you one of them people who call the law for every little thing, I can't fuck with you. But if it's serious and you put me in the hospital and I got to pay medical bills, you goddamn right your ass going to jail. And that just is what it is. So Rel made a good point, a very good point. He said Rio got into 3 fights and Milan brought Rio there for some mess. And now he's nowhere to be found. And that's true. Milan, you brought Rio here to start some shit. Your friend gets his ass beat and you are nowhere to be found. Now, there's a YouTube interview with Milan by Armand Wiggins. If y'all watch Armand Wiggins, he interviewed Milan. One of y'all, shout out to whoever commented and told me to watch that interview, because I haven't finished it yet, but it's a really good interview. And Armand really tells Milan like it is. Everything we've been saying here, me and y'all, all of us together, Armand lets Milan have it, okay? But in that interview, Milan says that it was edited or something like that. And I just, as far as when it comes to Milan not defending Rio and not being there, he blames a lot of stuff on editing. And come on, Milan. Come on, let's be real. If it was editing, we would at least have seen you somewhere in the background, because there was so much going on, and there was so much going on in such a confined space in that house. We would have saw you there trying to defend your friend. You were hiding behind the gate. We all saw it, Milan. Call a spade a spade. Like, stop trying to double back now, because we as the viewers see what's really going on, right? Another thing I noticed, if there's anybody who is from LA, who lives in LA, comment below, because maybe you can clear this up for me. But I always thought LA was like Florida and it was warm all year round. Is that not the case? Especially like in Southern California. Because in a lot of these scenes, now keep in mind they filmed this in January. So where it's cold pretty much everywhere, I assumed it was warm in LA. Because in Miami, when I go to Miami in January, it's like 70 degrees. But a lot of these boys are wrapped up in blankets. They sitting beside the fire. And I'm like, is it cold there? Like, I don't know. Maybe there's a cold front that came through during the month of January in LA. But I thought in the winter months, I thought 365 days a year, Southern California was warm. But maybe I'm wrong. Somebody from LA, comment below, let me know. Let me know what the T is. Let's see, where we at? Okay. Melania and these sweatpants. And I ain't hating at all, because Milan looks good, okay? I give Milan a lot of crap, but he looks really good. But he's always wearing these sweatpants, and that thing is thanging in the front, and that booty is stacked. Y'all see how big Milan's ass is? But it was this episode for me where I just like was really, I was like, I wonder, and this is no hate, no shade, no nothing. Like, it's serious curiosity, because Milan seems like the type that would do this. I'd be wondering if Milan got a booty job. You know what I'm saying? Because it's giving Kardashian booty vibes. Y'all know how like the Kardashians' butts just look abnormal. They don't look right. Like they just look like an ant. The big booty and the skinny legs. That's kind of how Milan's butt is starting to look. Like, and I don't want to say it's fake, because I know he works out, and it may be, well, I think he works out. It looks like he works out because he's really built. So maybe he's gotten his ass from squats and working out, but I'd be wondering if his booty was fake and if he got like a little implant or something in there, because that motherfucker it's a donk. They're all talking about, after the whole campfire scene or whatever, they're all talking about how they gotta go finish their song. They never finished their song. That's the Bad Boy song. They never finished it. I don't know why we're even gonna. I don't know why we're even seeing this, to be honest with you. Like, that was filmed weeks ago. I get y'all haven't finished the song, but we don't want to see you finish it. We just don't. They're talking about making a music video for that song, and they're going to do auditions and hold a casting, and they're going to split up into groups. And of course, here goes Milan again, being the self-proclaimed leader. He's giving everybody role. This is what we're going to do. We're going to split up, and you're going to go do this, and you're going to go do that. I'm so glad I'm not in that house. I would have been over it, because you know what? I was going to apply for this show. Fun fact about me, y'all probably don't know that. I almost applied for Bad Boys, because I was such a big fan of Bad Girls Club. I almost applied for Bad Boys, but they only casted for like 2 or 3 weeks, and it was over like that. Because y'all know how quick Zeus moves. Like, Zeus will put a casting up, they'll film for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they'll air that shit the next month. So I was busy, and I never got around to sending in my tape. But maybe I will for season 2. I don't know. Do y'all think I should apply for season 2? I don't know. They would have to pay me enough, because I'm not fixing to be fighting with these tired motherfuckers every day. If we there to have a good time, drink, argue, read each other, I'll do that. But all that glass throwing, fist fighting shit every day, like, I don't know. So they're talking about what they're doing as far as a video shoot. They're going to do a casting and all that stuff. And here goes Down Low Mo. Don't get me wrong. Down Low Mo is growing on me. He's been growing on me a little bit. but he makes it so obvious that he is a down low dude, that he likes men on the low, because every chance, every opportunity that Mo gets, he has to mention bitches or that he loves women. Like, what did he say? So they're talking about the casting. I'm so excited. We finally get to see some bad bitches. I'm ready to see some bad bitches. Like, I don't know about y'all, but the straight men that I know in my life, they're not always talking about, I want to see some bad bitches. Where are the bitches at? I love females, girls, girls, girls. They're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can just bag a bitch, or excuse me, they can just bag a female with no words. Like, Mo, you're obviously down low. And if we really want to get into it, I need y'all to go to YouTube. I don't know who posted this or what, but somebody screen recorded a Instagram live from Darrell. And Rel pretty much outed Mo. Darrell went on an Instagram live and was talking about, I don't know where they were. It may have been the premiere. It was somewhere where all the bad boys were sharing a hotel room. And Rel says that Mo was inviting him back to his room late at night. And in the Instagram live, being messy, now I don't condone this because I'll get to that, but Rel calls one of his friends who was there. And without telling the friend that he's on live, Rel is like, hey friend, oh shit, goddamn, what the fuck? So, I need to put that in bloopers. Okay, so Rel calls his friend. And he's like, hey friend, who was that dude that invited me back to his room when we were at the hotel? And the friend was like, is his name Curtis? And Rel was like, no, it wasn't Curtis. He was like, did his name start with an M? And he was like, yes, his name started with an M. Like, the friend was pretty much co-signing that it was Mo that invited Darrell back to his room. Now, if you go watch the video, Rel goes more into detail about what happens, what was said. But anyway, he was pretty much outing this man. And I don't condone that. Like, regardless of what I feel about Mo, I do think he's on the low. But I could sleep with Mo tonight. And I'm not going to get on this video tomorrow and tell y'all, because there are a lot of men who are on the low, and it's seriously so ingrained in them that they do not want anyone to know, and it's so ingrained in them that it's a bad thing that they can go to lengths to killing themselves, to hurting you for exposing them. Like, there's so many lengths and bad things that could happen when it comes to outing a man, and it's just downright wrong. Unless that man does something to you first. I'm all game for it if that man does something to you first that warrants outing him. And that means like getting physical with you, treating you like a piece of shit, or doing something. They have to do something that warrants outing them, in my opinion. Other than that, I don't agree with outing someone just to be messy. And I feel like Rel was being messy in that moment. So let's see. Where are we at? So they're in the studio finishing up their song, and I just can't with Melania. Milan's in the studio acting like he's 14, showing out. You know, and maybe it's just me, because I feel like he just does the most for the cameras. That's a bad boy, you know, jumping around like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And it's like, I don't know if y'all know this, but Milan is 37 years old. And no shade, I'm almost 30 myself. But come on now. Act your age. Like, he was acting like he's 14 years old, and he just got on camera for the first time. I don't know why. I'm trying so hard to like Milan. I have tried for so fucking long. And here's the thing. I think I've said this before. Milan has the total package, honestly. Because when I was listening to him rap, he's not a bad rapper at all. He has talent, and he's attractive. You know, he's really attractive. He's muscular. He's got beautiful teeth. He can dress somewhat well. Just is a total package, but that personality ruins it, man. Like, his insides ruin it because he's just so arrogant about everything and wants to be the center of attention all the time. And like, just when I feel like I'm liking Milan, I end up disliking him. Like at the beginning of the season, I kind of liked him because he was standing up for people. But then I feel like he got into this mindset to where he feels like he has to be Natalie Nunn. And if you watch the interview with Armand Wiggins, he says that he was like, when I got picked for the show, you know, me and Natalie were talking, and it was kind of made out like I was going to be the Natalie of the show. No, Milan, you just need to be you. And I don't feel like Milan. Sometimes I don't feel like who we see on TV is Milan. I feel like if there were no cameras, he probably wouldn't be that bad of a guy. But maybe I'm wrong. And also, I don't know if y'all know this, but God, I'm so sick of hearing, I'm rich, I'm super rich, exaggerated, something, my character assassinated. I'm so over that. And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Milan has recycled those lines. He has those same lines in another one of his songs. And Gutta and Rel actually exposed that as well during a YouTube video that I watched. A lot of y'all, there's a lot of YouTube tea that y'all need to go check out, behind the scenes tea that the boys are spilling that we don't get to see on the show. A lot of that is more entertaining than what's on the show, by the way. And also, I like the song is catchy. It is. The chorus is. That's a bad boy. The part I was twerking to is catchy. But a lot of these raps are corny as fuck. I mean, they're just corny as all get out. Like, Curtis's is corny. Milan's is corny. Mo's is corny. I like Gutta's somewhat. But I like, what is Curtis's? They like my tattoos and my swag, boy. I'm just like, whoop. I want to throw up when I hear it. Like, ugh, I want to throw up. So here's another thing I made a note about. I want to know if Rio is straight. Is he bisexual? Is he gay? Now, some people would say, why does this matter? Why does his sexuality matter? Well, it matters because we're on the fucking Bad Boys Club with a bunch of gay dudes. And I want to know. I want to know because obviously Rio has got to be bisexual. He gives off straight-ish vibes, even though you can't judge a guy based off of the way he acts. You can't judge somebody. I've seen some of the most masculine men be gay. But why I ask is because Milan said him and Rio were sharing a room. And Milan also said he doesn't share a room with anybody unless they're fucking. So I want to know, like, are Milan and Rio a thing? And Rio also used the word faggot in one of the episodes. So that's another reason why I want to know, like, what are you? Because if you're straight and using the word faggot, that ain't gonna fly, boo. Not at all. Y'all remember did y'all hear where Gutta said, after he did his rap, I laughed so hard. He said, I'm a ghetto bitch from Flint, Michigan, where the water is green. No shade to Flint, Michigan, because that is terrible that the water is bad. But like Gutta, and another thing about Gutta is some of y'all, or one of y'all, not some of y'all, one of y'all commented that Gutta was like overrated and that he really didn't do much. But you said that his confessionals were, his confessionals are what made him. And I totally agree. I don't agree that he didn't really do nothing. He maybe didn't do as much as the others, but in reality TV, confessionals are a big chunk of the show's success, and Gutta is killing the confessional game. Him and Rel make me laugh the most throughout the whole show. So Natalie comes into the studio with Lyrica Anderson. I love Natalie, but I just wish if she was going to be a producer, she would stick to being a producer. I feel like she just has to make sure she's in every show. That's just like the new show that's coming out, Baddies South, the spinoff of Baddies, or not the spinoff, but the continuation of the Baddies franchise. Have y'all seen the new preview for Baddies South, which I will be doing reviews of? Natalie is a part of that cast. Like, why, Nat? I love you, Natalie. I love you, but I wish you would stick to producer or the talent. Because when she's a producer and she is the talent, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Actually, I wish she would just stick to being a reality star. Because in my mind, she's not the best producer. No shade. That just is what it is. So she brings in Lyrica Anderson. Y'all probably know Lyrica from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but Lyrica is actually a really famous songwriter. She's written a lot of songs for people until she stepped into the reality TV game. Lyrica's there to kind of judge the song and give the boys feedback on what she thinks about the song. In which she says that she likes it and that it has a taste of everyone's individuality, which is true, you know. The song definitely isn't bad at all. It does have everyone's individual flavor and taste in it. I would say that too. I just feel like I said earlier, some of the lyrics are a little bit corny. But overall, I give the song a 6.5. You know, it's not bad. Maybe a 7. Maybe a 7. Where am I at? So they finish up the song and they go back to the house where they're going to hold the casting and the auditions for the video. They do the audition, and oh my God, that first girl, y'all see that first girl, her audition, the first one that came in? I'm like, oh my gosh, her audition was so blah. Let's see. Oh, I forgot about the restaurant scene. We finally got a restaurant scene, which Anthony even says. It's Anthony, Dylan, Rel, and Carry On. They're all sitting at the restaurant. This was before the casting. And Anthony even says himself, well, finally he gets to get out of the house and stop looking at those 4 walls. Stop looking at the walls. Like, yes, like, why have we not gotten any more scenes outside of the house? We finally got a restaurant scene. I'm so glad. But Rel brings up a good point. Rel confronts Carry On. They're talking about what scenes they're going to do and how they're going to do them. And Rel's like, Carry On, are you and Gutta going to do a scene together? Because obviously there's some chemistry there between you two. And Carry On just isn't having it. And from my observation, it's very obvious that Carry On is just not secure in his sexuality. I don't know what has happened with Carry On in the past, what's going on with him, but he just wasn't having it. He was shutting it down, and I don't get it. I really think it's, like I said before, his father being Kirk Franklin and growing up in this Christian household with all this pressure on him as a Christian gospel artist's son to be gay probably is a lot of pressure. So that's probably why he just isn't as open, but it's obvious that he had a little crush on Gutta. I wish we could have explored that storyline more, but I don't think we would have gotten much out of Carry On because he just doesn't seem interested in talking about it. I would love to know what goes on behind the scenes, though. Just saying. I think he's confused. Maybe not confused with his sexuality. He's just in denial with his sexuality. And Rel also says that Carry On should know all about mental abuse, so he shouldn't be doing it to Gutta, which is true. Because if y'all know about the history of Carry On and his father, there's a lot of mental abuse there. That's a whole other story. Y'all can go Google that. So back at the house, they're getting ready for the auditions. And listen, I know a lot of y'all love Curtis. I love Curtis. Curtis grew on me. I feel like I would get along with Curtis in real life, but he is so corny at times. Like, he's, at one point, when they're getting ready for the auditions, Curtis comes downstairs, and in his confessional, he's like, what did he say? I come downstairs, and I see some bad bitches, and I'm like, I want her, and I want her, and I want her. Now, Curtis, go say that to some females in real life. Go say that to a room full of gorgeous females in real life. Be like, I see some bad bitches, and I want her, and I want her, and I want her. See how many of them laugh at you. Like me as a gay man, I don't even like women, but I can teach some of y'all straight dudes how to pick up women better than y'all can, because you don't act like that. It's giving corny. That's why I call him Corny Curtis. I love you, Curtis, but I gotta show you I gotta show you some etiquette. You know what? Curtis needs some of these gay boys in the house in his life. You need some of these gay boys as your friend to teach you how to pick up women. We can be your wingman, Curtis. Call me. So they do the auditions. Some of these girls are straight embarrassing themselves. There's a few dudes in there who audition as well. And one thing I noticed about the auditions was, I'm just like, Zeus, y'all really mean to tell me that y'all could not have rented an audition space for these boys to hold these auditions. They literally are holding auditions in the kitchen of the house. And they got everybody who's auditioning like cramped up in the hallway waiting. Did y'all notice that? I'm like, what is going on? Why are you... My mouth's dry doing all this talking. I don't know if the budget went towards... I don't know if the budget went towards paying for the cast or what. Because in the interview with Armand Wiggins, Melania claims that he got paid way more than $11,000 to do this show. Which I find very hard to believe. Because the girls on The Conversation... Y'all remember when the bad girls did The Conversation? They got paid $1,000 for that one episode. Now, maybe they got paid $1,000 per episode, the bad boys did, and they did make over $11,000. But that's a really big cast, and I just almost find it hard to believe. I don't know. Maybe they did. I'm not being a hater. I don't know. Maybe that's where Zeus's budget went, because obviously they didn't film hardly anywhere. And y'all couldn't have rented them a space to do these auditions. Y'all got this big glass table in the middle of the kitchen and people auditioning there. But whatever. And then we get this one girl towards the end who comes out and does her audition. And I get what the girl was trying to do, because she gets on the glass table. And she gets up on it. And she's clapping her cheeks and she's doing her thing. And she's twerking and working and popping and locking and all that. And then they make it look like that the glass table... Actually, they don't make it look like... It looks like the glass table is about to shatter. And Rhea is like, I'm worried I'm about to get cut the fuck open. I would be worried too if I'm sitting there at this glass table and this bitch is in these heels jumping up and down. The glass table was just a shaking. I would have been terrified too. And the way that the editors play it, because they end the episode right after that, they make us think that the table is going to shatter. I don't think it does, because obviously the teaser for next week, they're still dancing and having a good time around the table. However, I guess they had nothing. They had nothing else to give us a what do you call that at the end? A cliffhanger. They had nothing else to give us for a cliffhanger, so they used the table thing. But anyway, I don't think the table was going to shatter. I don't. Like I said, this episode was a little bit dry. It was a little bit dull. The teaser for next week looks a little bit dull. Like I said, I'm ready for this episode to be over. We don't have any storylines at all. If you think about it, there are 0 storylines at all. We saw them finish up their song. We saw them hold auditions. And that's it. What are we going to get in the rest of the season? Because for the teaser for next week, all we see is them getting excited because they're trying on furs and bedazzled jumpsuits. And I'm like, that's all we're getting? Like, that's all we're getting for the next episode? Are you kidding me? I really wish they would have left Jonathan in the house. Like, I get it that it was possibly a liability to have Jonathan in the house because that motherfucker is lethal. But, like, maybe y'all should have kept him there and then made him go to a hotel at the end of the night so he didn't stay in the house. But we need some sort of storyline because we're going on to episode 11. If I'm not mistaken, there's like 2 or 3 episodes left. 4. I watched an interview somewhere where there's like 3 or 4 episodes left. And it's just not giving. It's not giving. And if it wasn't for me doing these reviews, I would have done backed out by now. I would have done bowed out gracefully and left and said, I'm done with the season. But I'm doing this for y'all. I'm going to continue to stay here and give you the reviews for those who are watching the season and for those who don't want to watch the season and they just want to come here and get the tea on what happened. I'm here for you as well. Also, I'm really excited for the reunion. I feel like the reunion is going to be a motherfucking showdown. Now, Zeus, this is what y'all better not do. Listen to me, Zeus, because I'm giving y'all free advice that you can use, valuable free advice. As a veteran reality TV watcher, as a television producer myself, I'm giving you some advice here, so take it. And I ain't talking about just no producer from a YouTube TV show or a producer of some low budget show. A producer from a syndicated network, from a big network. I'm giving you advice here. Do not leave Jonathan out of this reunion. Do not leave Jonathan out of this reunion. Even if you got to Skype him in. I would rather him be there in person so he can smack the shit out of some of y'all that was running their mouths. Dylan, you called him a fat ass, whatever you called him. We need Jonathan to be at the reunion. On behalf of myself, my loyal followers and watchers, and the rest of the Zeus viewers, we need Jonathan at the reunion, okay? And that is all. Thank you so much for watching this review. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate all of you so much that support me and watch me. Also, make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Damian Gentry. I will put that in the description below. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. And I guess we'll see you next week on the next Bad Boys review. Also, if you have any recommendations of something that you would like for me to review, a lot of y'all have been asking me to do reaction videos. Give me some ideas of what you want me to do reaction videos to. And also, do I need to watch the show as it's airing and react to it? Or do I watch it and pause and react to it? I'm all new to this, y'all, so forgive me. But yeah, thank y'all so much for the support. We're at 41 minutes. This is a pretty long video. I love y'all, and we'll see you next time. Wow.